MCS. This is your summer kickoff last art lesson that is completely optional, that you can do if you want to, but something that maybe you could put together for Mother's Day or just to celebrate summer. So when you guys come to school and bring your books back and get your yearbook, I will give you a bag like this with your family's name on it, and all of the students in your household will have some coffee filters, green cardstock, and a small espresso cup. And with these items, you can take them home and create this hydrangea, coffee filter hydrangea, and you could give it as Mother's Day gift, like I said, or keep it in your room, decorate with it, but you will be able to put this together. And like I said, this is not something that you have to turn in. This is just summer fun kickoff and a farewell to 2020. So when you get home, first thing you're gonna need to do is get your coffee filters out, and you're gonna want some food coloring. And I put in pink in this one, but I made a whole bunch of coffee filters with blue because blue is my favorite color for hydrangeas. And taking the stack of your coffee filters, you're going to go straight down into the colored water. I put a little bit of orange in there too, just because you know me, I never like anything just one solid color. I always like it to be a few different colors. And you're going to dip all the way around the coffee filter like that. Now you could let this dry, come back and dip it again with a darker pink if you want to, so that it kind of has that fading color. You will notice that a lot of the colors, once you dip them in the food coloring, as they're pulling up through your coffee filter, you're going to see the different tones of the colors kind of separate out, which makes it look really cool. Like I said, you can dip it as much as you want. You can come back and dip it more, add more food coloring and do it again, which I might just do that since we're sitting here anyways. See how much pinker I can get it. And if you don't go all the way in and you just get the very tips of it, then it will just kind of soak up and spread out through your coffee filter. All right, so once you have that done, you're gonna just lay that flat and let it dry. And as it dries, it's gonna flatten out some more. You can mist it, the whole thing, if you want it to be completely wet and lay completely flat. Let them completely dry, and then when you come back, these ones are my blue ones, you're gonna have just these flat coffee filter rounds. And with these, you can see I did go back in, I got them all different colors. I'd come back in and just dot on darker blues and things like that, purples and pinks and stuff. So you can have fun with the way that you're decorating them. But you're gonna take one coffee filter and fold it in half. And then again. Again, and one last time after this one. So that you have a little wedge. Now, we want to cut a shape into this wedge, and it's going to look like this basic shape. The best way that I found to start that shape is to come right to the very top and cut a little V into the very top of this coffee filter, just like that, and then kind of try to round it out. This doesn't have to be exact. No one's going to really notice if it's not. I'm coming down into that bottom petal, and then I'm going to come over to this one as well. And then you'll have that shape. Now, If you have 3 of these, you're going to open them all up. Kind of reminds me of those little paper doll chains that people used to make. I never knew how to do those. I should try those sometime because I think they would be fun to make. But that's what that reminds me of. And you're going to just open these all up. When you stack the next one on top of it, make sure you're not in the same spot as the flower petals that you were on the previous layer. And then fold those 3 in half. And this is where you're going to kind of roll it in a wedge, like a little cone shape. Just like that. And you can pull the outer layer down. And then kind of squish it, scrunch it up a little bit so the petals look a little bit more natural. And then you have your basic hydrangea right there. And the best way to secure that is with a staple. Now, depending on how many of these you want, you can make a few clusters of these. You could make some that are the blue and then some with the pink in there, but pretty much you just get your flower going and then you can set this off to the side. Now, with your cardstock, you're going to want to cut out 3 leaves with this cardstock, and we're going to start by taking the 2 ends of this cardstock and folding them into the middle. Just like that. And we are going to cut a leaf from this side and a leaf from this side. Once we have those leaves cut, then we're going to come back in and we will cut a leaf from the very middle. So now where my folds came together, I folded that in half as well. Okay, but we're going to keep it open for now. And the hydrangea leaf has a little bit of a more rounded bottom and then comes up to a point. These don't need to be exact. If they're not the exact same size, that's good. That makes them look more real. So you can have ones that are bigger, ones that are smaller. We're going to open up these and we're going to come to that middle one, and that's the perfect little one in there. I'm going to get just that little itty bitty one, just like that. Again, throw our trash away. And now with the leaves, what I like to do is I like to come in and just kind of cut little chisels out of the side of the leaves while they're still folded in half. And this just helps give it a texture of a natural leaf. All right, now that you have all of the little chisel cuts coming down the side, we're going to zigzag fold it, starting from the very point. Now, if we were to open up our leaf, we would want our fold lines to be coming out from the center like this. So when we come down to our very first fold, we're going to kind of fold down at this angle, and then you're going to keep that angle and just go back and forth from one side to the next. And I'm just looking at my fold lines that they're going the same direction. They're about the same distance. You're not going to be exact. Doesn't need to be. You're just zigzag folding down that leaf. And you'll have that little accordion shape leaf. Pull it out and open it up. And now you have the texture on the sides, and then you have the textures in the folds that make it look like a leaf. Now, I have done it where I've acrylic painted or watercolor painted it. on the different sides. I've done marker with it. On this one, I used marker after I folded it. I just took marker real fast and went over the edges and the tips, and you'll see that it just gave it a little bit of color change. Just makes it look a little bit more real. You can do it to the bottom as well. So that's up to you, taking some colored pencils over it, or any of those extras you can do to make it have more depth. So now we have our blossom and a leaf. It goes over there. Now we need to get a planter. So you have your espresso cup. And it's just plain white. Depending on what you have at home, you can use acrylic paint. You could use just regular Crayola markers, crayons, anything like that that you want to decorate it. Have at it. If you want to glue little sequins to it, that would be awesome. We at the house have a bunch of acrylic paint pens. So, thanks, I'm throwing them. My daughters and I use these to decorate the sides of the cups. And on this one, I kind of did a little bit of like an ombre color change, fading from the red down to the yellow. I have another one here where it's just the purple fading out and then the little turquoise dots. This one's a sunset with the cityscape. Another fading ombre. And this one was a cityscape in the process. So you can see that one right there. So you can pick whatever design you want and decorate it, fill it up. And then I'm going to show you how you can then assemble your hydrangea. So the best way is to use a hot glue gun. And so this part your parents might need to help you with. You can use other glue and then use like a clip and clip it and let it dry, because if you're using just like Elmer's glue or something like that, it's going to need to sit for quite a while. Hot glue gun works the best, and then you can get it in there and get it done pretty quick. So just taking a little hot glue to the side of your cup and then putting your flowers in and pinching. And then taking your leaves, and you can glue them to the inside of the cup. Get like a little bit of a curve if you want them to lay down. And then after that's nice and cool, you can manipulate that leaf to kind of stick up a little bit, like that. And you can keep filling in your hydrangea and your leaves going around till you have your nice full little bitty hydrangea plant. I hope you guys love making that. I hope you have a great summer. If you do make them, even though you're not getting graded for this, I would love to get to see them. So send me pictures and tell me how you liked it. Have a good summer.